So hey guys, my name is Noelle and the topic I chose for this presentation is on conformity. So yeah, let's get into it. So what is conformity? I really like this definition. It says social influence in which we alter our behavior in response to commands or orders from people perceived as having power and authority. And then I said it's important to highlight, however, conformity is not just acting as other people act, it is also being affected by how they act. It is acting or thinking differently from the way you would act and think if you were alone. And then, so yeah, we're surrounded by people every day who conform. And so, and you probably have experienced conforming to other people, to groups, or to someone, or you've seen it in movies. So yeah, we are surrounded by people conforming, and so it's really important to understand and to know because it helps us understand them, and yeah. So let's change the slide. So explaining conformity and examples. So I really liked the textbook that we had this semester. But specifically, this I quoted this from it. It says, conformity. As researchers soon discovered that conformity did grow if the judgments were difficult or if the people felt incompetent. The more insecure we are about our judgments, the more influenced we are by others. He goes on to say that this teaches conformity experiments teach the practical lesson that it is easier to stand up for something if you find someone else standing up with you. So yeah, the chances are higher to conform when we are with someone else or in a larger or with other people in a larger group. So yeah, I use these two examples specifically because it shows how people are conforming with one another, and it also shows how we might not always be aware of conforming to other people. And so yeah, I really like these. And then next slide. I've actually found two studies of conformity. I'm not going to read both of them due to time, but the first one demonstrates how rewards and incentives can impact and even increase conformity in both individuals and groups. And then the second one found this information helps us recognize that kids in development and the genes or their personality that they get from their parents are influential to the kids who are most likely going to conform versus the kids that might not. So yeah, these two studies were just really cool to look at because they were different and what they did was different. So I highly recommend reading them. And then next slide. Primary reasons are ideas on why we most likely conform with one another. So this is based on the research I found. But yeah, I'll read some of the things that I said. So the majority of the group, the perceptions, thoughts about other group members, majority. Sorry, I already read that. Self-esteem, things like that. So the reasons can really vary, and they're really and so I really wanted you, there's a question on the side over here that I was gonna ask can conformity be negative or positive? The answer is both. Conforming with other people can be, it depends on the person, the situation, and what you're conforming to. It can be positive. And so yeah, I just really wanted to say that it can be both, and because that's important. Conformity allows overall growth and sometimes provides a change we might need in us. It allows us to be in unity with one another, which can be helpful in certain social norms. And so yeah, and then the last slide. Why is conformity important to understand? So I'm not going to read all of this due to time, But I really wanted to leave with conformity is so common amongst us at times that we are unaware that we are conforming with one another. And also, we conform in bigger groups, in larger groups. And, or it increases our chances of conforming. But this is really important to understand, because we can recognize if we're conforming to something, if we should be conforming to something, or if we shouldn't be conforming to something. And so being aware of conformity really helps us internally and externally. It really just, it's really helpful. And so yeah, and then I'm going to end with my references. If you want to know more about conformity, highly recommend these. These are really, really helpful. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and message me on Canvas or anything like that. Or if you have questions. So thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.